Welcome to the Extra Point. I am Hunter along with Nick. How are you doing, Nick?
Hunter, I'm doing well. I'm assuming you're doing fantastic,
Doing fantastic, Nick.
as
Doing
always.
freaking tastic.
That's terrific.
Episode 16 of the NFL only. We've changed, remember, from last episode. It is NFL only now. Kind of goes with our name too, the Extra Point. Anyway, episode 16, we are going to have two topics. First topic is a fan topic. Fan brought this to our attention. NFL players holding out. So how was that compared to the NBA? We all know NBA players kind of have their own little. They basically control where they go. They have more control over the free agency aspect, the trading, the negotiations. NFL players not so much. So we're going to compare the two and see if the NFL will, possibly switch to that type of movement. And we're also going to talk about in topic 2, Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, and Daniel Jones. 3 rookie quarterbacks that the spotlight is on this year. Dissect how they played, and we're going to give our take on how they did. Anyway, without further ado, Nick, topic 1, NFL players holding out compared to the NBA.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and start off with this. We all know the NBA is controlled by the players, all right?
Correct.
We talked about it a few weeks ago, a month or so ago on an episode. We brought Canyon along. He gave us some good information on some teams.
Yep.
The Clippers being a big one. Basically, these players can communicate in the off season. They text each other, they hang out, and they say, hey, let's play here.
Right.
And they do it. The owners, like, if you're good enough, you can create what, a 2 or 3 man trio or duo on any team, and you can just bounce around at any old time. It's not like that in the NFL.
No.
The only reason I think that is different is because you got 5 starters on an NBA team, right? 5 starters. If you get 3 all-stars, you spend all your money on these 3 all-stars, you trade, you don't have any picks. If you have 3 outstanding, really top-tier superstar players on one team, you're going to be very successful. And now you have a big 3, and now you have one of the most dominant teams in the league. Looking at the Clippers, that's kind of what they did with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
In the NFL, however, you would have to get Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, and Drew Brees or Tom Brady on the same team. And that is virtually impossible. Yep. When it comes down to money, salary cap, you have more players you have to think about, so people get paid way less. It simply isn't possible in the NFL because of the salary cap. However, if they want to raise the salary cap, that could be possible. There's talk about a 2021 NFL lockout. God, I hope it doesn't happen. It's going to piss me off if there's no football. It really is.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, the result might be an increase in salary cap. That way players get more.
Shout out to the replacements, Keanu Reeves.
That's right. I love it. That's right.
My movie. I completely 100% agree with everything you said. Salary cap is a big thing. You have 53-player roster.
Right.
The salary cap goes up every single year. Could be $3 million, could be $5 million, could be $10 million. It's increased significantly. I don't know the exact number over the past 5 to 10 years. So yes, 53 players, putting them into a whatever the salary cap is this year. I don't know. I think it's close to 200 million, 183 million, I think. It's very difficult compared to the NBA, where, like you said, you have 5 starters, and honestly, 2 stars on that team, you already have a playoff team. 2 of the 5. The other 3 could be decent, average. If you at least have 2, you're pretty much a playoff team. We saw, 4 or 5 teams this year in NBA?
That's right.
Just get 2 players,
team
basically.
Up. Yep.
And they're already a star team. Playoffs, we talked about it earlier, a couple episodes ago before we switched to the NFL only. NFL, I don't think will ever be like that because of what you said, the amount of players. You're not going to have basically your star positions are your quarterback, your running back, and receivers. A receiver.
Yeah.
So that's only 3 players out of 11 starters on offense. those 3 players, if you have star potential, that's going to eat up probably 30% of your cap space alone.
Yep.
You're not talking about line. You're not talking about defense. You're not talking about your backups. That already eats up 30%. So it's virtually impossible. And I'm not sure with the ownership, what they do in the ownership meetings with the contract negotiations. Maybe it's different, meaning the NBA didn't specify that in their contracts with the players that, I don't know, they might have more leadway than the NFL. The NFL might be more strict when it comes to franchises and owners having the control and general managers.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't think it'll ever be like that. I mean, you look at the Patriots. When does Bill Belichick pay his players top-notch money? Besides Tom Brady this year.
Once every decade, you throw in a Stephon Gilmore, you give him a max contract. That's pretty much it. Everybody else is average Joes or less.
And how successful are they every single year?
Don't mean to brag, but they are arguably the best team every year.
That's exactly what your shirt says. So, yeah, that settles that. I mean, I don't think.
Well, an example of the opposite of that would be like the Packers, who they want to give Aaron Rodgers all this lumps of money.
Right.
Can you name like 3 Packers players? If you're not a Packers fan, can you name 3? So you got Aaron Rodgers, David Bakhtiari, and go.
Devontae Adams, Jimmy Graham, Ty Montgomery.
Star players.
Devontae Adams, I mean, top receiver, one of the top in football.
Debatable.
Ty Montgomery, he's a decent running back. He's more of a receiver at running back. I get your point.
No defense at all. You know what I mean? They're not the only team. There's other teams that are the exact same way. And, whether you hate Tom Brady or not, he does take pretty much annual pay cuts almost every year in the long run, so his team could spread out, share the wealth with everybody else. Yep. So it's not going to be the same as in the NBA. It'd be impressive if, for whatever reason, a couple really beast play. If Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, and some other, and Chandler Jones all said, "Hey guys, let's play on the same team together. We're all free agents."
Dear God in heaven.
They'd have to. Well, it'd be impossible to play against, but they'd have to all take major pay cuts, and that simply isn't possible. But they can do that in the NBA because that's most of your team. 3 players, you got 5 starters right there. That's all you need. So
the NFL players. I mean, honestly, me and you, average Joes, we're $1 million to us, $750,000 minimum
is
signing.
Phenomenal.
Oh my God! But so you look at the NFL players and they get paid crap compared to NBA, compared to MLB.
Yep.
So that lockout could be coming soon.
Golfers get paid more than NFL players do.
NBA, if the owners came out and said, "Hey, listen, we're done with this. We're gonna go like the NFL is," it wouldn't happen. The players already have the control of it. And it will never switch back to NFL, or I don't know if it ever was. It never was like the NFL is. Yeah. Even back in the day, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, they had a big rivalry going. Now it's based on money. Then it was based on championships, in my opinion. Yeah. But so it'll never happen. NFL, I hope that lockout, like you said, never comes. But looking at every other sport compared to the NFL, they kind of get screwed and shafted. But it's better for business and better for keeping a level playing field, and it adds a lot more strategy. What you do not see on the football field in the back office, which is what I love.
Compared to just, we have these awesome players.
Right.
It's more about, well, what does your GM do? What kind of, what can your coach make adjustments for this, that, and the other?
Yep.
Compared to like you just have this amazing skill set of players. Did you draft well? Did your GM set you up well in the future? What are your contracts looking like? I agree. It makes everything a lot more strategic.
Yep, and that's why I love football so much. It's a lot. Even when they're not playing football, I love just studying it and watching it and listening to the news because they just do so much behind the scenes. You don't even know. I mean, 4 preseason games is a good number because you have to take 90 players and condense it down to a 53-man roster.
Yep.
Everybody's saying cut it down to 2 games. I still don't think I think they should keep the 4 just because of that reason. I mean,
yeah.
And we're about to talk about it right now.
We would not have Hard Knocks if we dropped it down to 2 games.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same.
Right.
But football is the ultimate organizational sport. Like, you have to have an owner that's on board. You have to have a GM, a president that's on the same page with your coach. Your coach may play or wear multiple hats. And your D coordinators or all your coordinators, everyone, it just trickles down. It's all a big organizational team sport, and it's awesome. The NBA is basically just who has the most talent, and they'll pay anything for the most talent, and that's why you have all these teams. Super
exactly
teams.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Poor NFL will never be like that, but I like it. Keeps an even playing field.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the Patriots to rebuild. Anyway, moving on to our topic 2. We have dissected these 3 quarterbacks, some stats, but not just stats. Watching the film, and we're going to put our football minds into what we saw individually on these players. Talking about throwing styles, talking about how they move in the pocket.
Yeah.
What their brain is doing with the football knowledge, you could say, when the play is going down and going through. So, first quarterback, we're going to start off with number 1 and the number 1 pick. Kyler Murray with the Arizona Cardinals, the up-and-coming Arizona Cardinals, I should say. Yep. Kyler Murray, what did you see on that man?
Well, he's played a couple games. I know in his first game he had 1 drive. He went, I believe it was 6 for 6. So he was efficient. They were fine. They marched down the field like you would want. He was very accurate with the football, real Russell Wilson-esque from him that first game. The second game, however, we have different opinions on it, I believe, but I thought he was very timid. They sent the Gruden tested Murray big time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In that second preseason game, he sent the house every other play. Murray, on multiple occasions, pulled a Peyton Manning or Tom Brady and just kind of fell to the floor so he would avoid getting hit. I saw the only thing negative I saw from that. I know, he was less than 50% pass and all that stuff. As a rookie, that's a lot of pressure. Right. I think Raiders did have half their team starters in for, while he was in there. So, I don't count that as a big worry. What I saw was him very timid from getting hit. And that was a big topic, was he's very small. He's a small guy. He's very fast. Can he take those big hits? And I'm a little skeptical on that because of what he showed in that second preseason game. He's very timid. There are several plays where I felt in college he wasn't afraid to make. He wasn't afraid to stand in the pocket on a couple plays, or he was afraid to do it against the Raiders, and he would just duck and take a sack, or he'd throw the ball away and kind of, barely get out of someone's way. And that's the only thing I saw negative from him so far. Other than that, he's still going to be good. He's still athletic, and he's still going to be a smart football player. He hasn't made any bad decisions noticeably yet to me. That's just the timid factor, I think, that came out in the second game. Other than that, he's doing pretty good.
I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray, he did a good job all around. Honestly, even in the Raiders game, I have some good and I have some bad. So both games combined, or we'll start off with the first game.
Yeah.
When he's playing, his throw on the run, oh my God. Perfect. He can sling that thing. I would give him a 9 out of 10 rating.
It's the same, yeah. It's great.
9 out of 10 rating on the throw on the run. His throw in the pocket, looking at his arm motion, honestly, he needs to roll out more and throw, because I think he's more accurate on the run than he is in the pocket. Somehow. I don't know how, but I think it is. I mean, he needs to work on his throwing motion and his arm motion in the pocket, because a lot of those balls sailed on him. Even if they were check downs, they sailed on him. He needs to get it down a little bit. But overall, great throws. I think he was 6 for 7 for 44 yards.
Yep.
They're not going to, even in that first game, I don't think they threw it beyond 10 yards one time, which is okay. Get him worked in the first game. Get him these short, easy passes, something that the offensive line can handle. And I think he did a great job. Going to the second week, like you said, Gruden tested him big time, and they tested the offensive line big time, which failed him big time.
Yep.
Which we expected and we thought would happen. So, but not talking about the offensive line. They performed horribly. Talking about Kyler Murray. Throw on the run, good. They mixed in a lot of the deep balls, or some deep balls. I think he threw it deep twice. Missed both of them. It's very hard to make throws in the NFL while you're being pressured and that you've been pressured the whole entire time you've been playing.
Yeah.
But one thing I liked about Kyler Murray, throw on the run, good. Football, knowledge, and quick decision-making, good. The one thing I didn't like, he's throwing the ball down the field too much when he should be just throwing it either a check down or just throwing it away. 3 throws he made, he should not have thrown in the second game. Rolling out to the left, across his body, threw it, sailed on him, was this close to being picked. Just throw it down. Just throw it out of bounds. Check it down. Stop trying to make big plays. Cam Newton had the same problem the first 3 years. Just check it down. Do not throw the ball down the field and intercept.
Cam Newton might have had a problem for the first 3 years. Murray might be having the problem now. A lot of rookies do. As long as he doesn't turn into Brett Favre, who we talked about. Who did it his whole career. Pat Mahomes is going to learn real quick. I think this year he's not going to be able to do that to every team he faces like he did last year, where he can launch it down the field. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Now. Murray needs to start now trying to realize what he has and what he doesn't have during a play. With his ability to run, too, hey, duck and run it, man. If it's not there, he needs to just say, screw it, I'm getting some yards. There's no shame in running the football.
I have to say in that game, he couldn't run it at all. And you were saying you were worried about him taking hits, and I agree because he's so small. Yeah. But I loved that he got down and did not fight. He could not run. They had a QB spy on him. Excellent contained pressure up the middle. He just said, screw it. I can't throw it away.
He seemed very timid when he did that, which I guess you look at it 2 different ways,
I like that he did it. I mean, he's 5'8", 5'9", so he can't, if there's pressure in the left, right, and middle, he can't roll out to throw it away. If he throws it away, it's going to be at his lineman's helmet. So, because he's so short. So, I mean, he can't run. So I like that he just fell down and didn't take the hit.
Yeah.
So what I say, the one thing was he's throwing it deep down the field. He's not making very good passes when he's under pressure.
Trying to force the ball.
Yeah. Right. Force the ball. I didn't like that. But overall, his offensive line failed him. It's going to get like that sometimes. The way to beat Murray, pressure him. That's what it's looking like anyway, unless he fixes it. But overall, Kyler Murray, I think he did a great job. We'll see more in preseason week 3 and 4.
Yep.
Overall, I think he did a good job.
Not too shabby from my view as well.
Yeah. Moving on to the MVP of the season, Daniel Jones.
Okay, so
Daniel Jones is doing a good job.
He's doing a great job, actually. He's showing why people were skeptical because he didn't have the strongest arm. He had terrible numbers under pressure. But so far, he hasn't been under that much pressure, so we haven't seen that yet. And he is an accurate thrower of the football. He makes some really consistently good passes. A couple of them are 50-50 balls. They've had some good catches in the back of the end zone, but so far, he hasn't made a mistake yet, to me. I watched the entirety of his time in the first game. He was almost perfect, if you ask me. He was great. He threw the ball away a couple times, which is smart. Second game, saw the highlights. Really looked like the same thing. He made a lot of big plays. Truthfully, he's doing better than Eli Manning is. I think. I don't know how they're going to handle that situation, but he's playing good enough right now. They could start him week 1, and they would be okay. They really would.
Yeah. I agree. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did to Kyler, and I'm going to do the same thing I do to Dwayne Haskins.
Okay.
I'm going to have some good, and I'm going to have some bad. The good, he's great in the pocket.
Yeah.
Great protection. The first game, like Kyler, all these passes, I think besides 1 or 2, was less than 10 yards down the field. 1 being the touchdown, 1 being the play to get into the goal. So great inside the pocket. Decent pocket pressure. The second game kind of got to him a little bit in the sense of him not sensing where the pressure's coming from.
Right.
But overall, did great. I mean, we said Dwayne Haskins got a good ball. Kyler Murray's great throwing the run. Daniel Jones made every pass, nearly every pass, besides I think one.
Yep.
I mean, beautiful. And we're talking in the second game, there was 2 on the dime on the sideline. Back shoulder throw, receiver jumps up and gets it. Perfectly thrown ball. Daniel Jones doing a great job, in my opinion. Phenomenal.
I think he's doing well. Now, granted, we'll see once he starts playing, they're in
when
a pretty tough
starters.
Yeah, when you start playing against starters, everything's faster. Defenses are going to be way better, a lot better players on the other side. We'll see how he does there. But right now, if you can do good if you can play well in the preseason, then you're where you're supposed to be. It's not like, to me, I hate when people go, oh, it's just preseason. Well, that if he was doing bad, we'd have a problem. He's doing great, and it is preseason. You should be doing great. So I think he's doing great right now. We just got to kind of wait and see how he's like against a really good team, or really just a starting team, starting players.
Oh, preseason week 3 is basically where all the starters come out. Week 3 and play the most,
or at least one drive or so, at least.
Yeah, this is the week where we should see. This should be the most important week based on the starters standpoint.
Right.
So I said good. Now I'm going to say the one bad thing that I did see. We talked about the pressure or sensing pressure. That's decent. He needs to sense the coverages better. So a lot of those plays in week 1 and 2, the play was given to him. He knew exactly where that ball was going to be thrown and what was going to be open. Week 2, I didn't see as much of that. There was a lot of times where the receivers were contested and he didn't do a check down until the very last possible second. I think his second throw, I mean, I don't know what the play was. He hiked the ball, and he literally waited. He could have checked it down to the running back nearly a second or 2 after he hiked the ball, immediately nearly, and would have probably got 10 yards. Rather, he waits until he is maybe a millisecond from getting sacked, throws it to the running back, instant stop, maybe a 2-yard gain.
Yep.
I need him to sense the coverage a lot faster, and that'll come within time and when they get more film study. I think takes time to get him used to all that. But that's the one thing I didn't see. He needs to sense the coverages more. And his brain needs to process faster and get more football knowledge into his, I don't know what I'm saying, knowledgeable, I guess.
Yeah.
With the coverages, with the defense. So brain process faster in sensing these coverages and making the throws. That's what I'm getting to. Couldn't really put that into words. That was a lot of my brain was scrambled.
You know what you're saying. He's got to be a smarter football player.
Correct.
That's just to me, that's just another rookie thing. It's very rare to have someone come out and they're able to pick apart a defense and read the coverages in a split second. So, but you're right. He gets better at that. That's going to help him out a lot.
Correct. All right. Kyler Murray, done. Daniel Jones, done. Dwayne Haskins with the Redskins, the guy that we thought should go to the Giants.
Yeah.
He's with the Redskins now. What do you think?
I'm thinking so far, Daniel Jones and Haskins are proving me wrong. Haskins, I am not impressed with at all. I've been. It's kind of sloppy to me. Granted, that the very first game is hard to judge off anybody. Then the second game, I didn't see much of. But what I know is this: he's got a cannon, and he's got a very accurate. He slings that. I wonder how fast it goes, man. He can sling a football better than the other two certainly can. That's for sure. Okay.
Right.
And he can sling that deep ball very accurately. He's not afraid to do it. But every time he hikes the ball, all I see him doing is looking down the field.
Yeah.
He's trying to make that big play, and he's good at doing it. A lot of it has to do with coaching. I'm not sure who the offense coordinator is for the Redskins, but they need to work on that with him. I know that's a strength of his, throwing it down the field. I want to see him throw the checkdowns. I want to see him make the simple, a simple like 10 and in post patterns, things like that. Can you do the medium to short throws accurately? Haven't seen some. He overthrew a lot of people so far in these first 2 games. Very sloppy. I'm not concerned with the sacks. He's been sacked quite a few times. He's a big guy. Their offensive line isn't the greatest. You know, they're one of the best left tackles in the league right now is on their team, but he's not playing, so that doesn't help either. The only thing I'd say he's doing bad, the one that sticks out to me is he's looking for the bomb every time. You cannot do that. It's similar to Kyler Murray's situation, but it's every time. He's seriously, and it's got to be play calling also goes into play.
Right.
I like to see what he can do with, a 4-minute offense where you're able to march it down the field. See if he can call an audible or a check down. I haven't seen it yet. That's the only problem I have. And because of that, I put him behind both Murray and Jones as far as who's doing better than who in the preseason right now.
I would put them. I would put him third as well. Great ball. He's a great, accurate passer. Can launch it down the field. His deep accuracy wasn't the best, but he, like you said, the play calling. I agree with what you said. He's looking down the field too much, and that is his number one weakness. I completely agree with it, and that's what I saw as well. But I take that more so the staff. I think these plays, you look at Kyler Murray and you look at Daniel Jones, all their play calls were short to intermediate passes. I'm talking within 10 yards.
Yeah.
When Haskins, the average pass that he attempted, not completed, attempted, was probably 10 to 15 yards down the field.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that. They need to, this week, I think they need to shorten the game plan. I don't know if they're trying to turn into this vertical threat offense. They don't need to. So I think they need to shorten the game plan, short to intermediate passes, just to get him comfortable with his offense, get him comfortable with his progressions, and to see the defense a lot better. So his passes need to be a lot more accurate in the short to intermediate passes. The deep throw will get to him eventually. But the one thing that I love about Dwayne Haskins is his football knowledge compared to the other two.
Yeah.
He was going through progressions fluently. His checkdowns were good. Besides the balls that he just throw deep, I'm pretty sure he did that just because they told him to. But I like his football knowledge. He's a very smart quarterback, and he probably was the smartest quarterback coming out of the combine. His progressions are good. He can sense the pressure very well, sense the coverages very well, and he is good with the checkdowns and good with throwing the ball away. Every time he got pressure, he threw the ball away. Threw it to the ground, whatnot. On a screen pass, he sensed that the screen pass was not there. What does he do? Throws it at his feet. Saves a couple yards, 3 to 4 yards, and saves his running back from getting hit. So Dwayne Haskins' football knowledge, I love. His passes are very accurate on the short to intermediate. The deep, not so much. But if I had to grade him, I'd put him third. The staff needs to work on him. It's mainly the staff's fault in my eyes.
I agree with that. I mean, they're the ones that are calling these plays. Let's be like Aaron Rodgers and just change the play in the huddle completely. You're not there yet, kid. You can't get away with that one. So I agree. It's got a lot to do with that. Just so far, looking at team-wise total, looking at how they're all three playing. Daniel Jones stands out well above the other two to me as far as how he's playing right now. We will see how all of them fare against starters probably this week. If not, of course, week 1 will be that time. So it's pretty cool to see Jones doing well. He's certainly the underdog because he got so much scrutiny.
Oh, yeah.
The second he was drafted. Yeah, it's immediate, but a wasted pick. He's got a lot to prove. So he's really he's on his game right now. He's impressive. He's the best of those top 3 quarterbacks there. He's the best.
So based on quarterback technique alone, not the offensive line, not the receivers, just how they are playing.
Yeah.
A to F on a grade. Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray? Mm-hmm. I'd give him a B.
Okay. Daniel Jones.
A.
Dwayne Haskins.
C minus. I know you, and I agree with you. The coordinator, whoever's calling these plays for him, isn't doing him any justice. But those plays are being called. I know it's his weakness is throwing it that way, but we got to see something. I got to see improvement there. So just because you're right, he's very smart though. He's football knowledge. He can sense pressure. That's all fine and well, but so can't Jones. So can't Murray. I want to see him be a playmaker, not just another quarterback. Jones and Murray are making plays.
Okay. So I would give Kyler Murray a B+.
Okay.
Daniel Jones, I'm going to give an A.
Terrific.
And Dwayne Haskins, I'm going to give a C+.
Okay.
Basically the same as you. I'm just giving a little more credit towards the Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones, or Dwayne Haskins. But yeah, Dwayne Haskins is getting screwed in my opinion. They need to work with him a lot more on the check downs and on the short to intermediate passes. I swear, if they go vertical offense, spreading the field, they don't have the offense to do that. Don't do it. You have Adrian Peterson. You don't have all these quick receivers like Arizona's got. Don't even try it. I mean, granted, you got the throw power, and you got the QB to do it, but he's a rookie. Don't do it, please. You're gonna screw him over. And he's not very athletic. He's a pocket passer. Don't screw him over.
Note to self, Jay Gruden: don't screw over your quarterback
of the future. Your franchise, because he is a franchise.
The only other one they have is old broken leg Alex Smith, and I don't think he's going to do much right now.
No, don't turn your franchise quarterback, who is a star, into an RG3 or any other Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert. Don't do it.
Blake Bortles, please don't make him Blake Bortles. Come on, Jay. Yeah. Be like your brother.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, episode 16 in the books of The Extra Point. Let us know what you think down in the comments, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Like the video. And yeah, keep the topics coming. We are going to use your topics if we're eligible to, if we can use them, obviously. But yeah. Any comments, Nick?
Well, I can't wait to see what we're talking about come week 1 with these 3 quarterbacks. That's all I got to say. We'll see who is right, who is wrong, see if our grades were accurate, and we'll see what they're like. Hell, we'll see if Jones even starts. Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll see what happens in a few weeks.
All right. We've got to get ready for we're recording this obviously on Thursday, August 22nd.
Before the Panthers-Patriots game.
That's right. So we are about
huge
to get ready.
Implications for this game.
We are about to get ready to go watch that game. Yeah, should be a good one. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Tune in next week of The Extra Point, episode 17, and we will catch you later.